What's going on, chat? Morning. Good morning, good morning. What's going on, guys? What is going on? Good morning. What is going on, chat? Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday. Thanks for the live stream. You're welcome. I'm trying to do these every Friday now. What's going on, guys? Good morning. Heaton, Beheda, P-Boy Dog. What's up, Karen? Good morning. Of course, no problem. The OT is part of the job. John, good morning. Tim, good morning. William, good morning. What's going on, guys? Hugo, good morning. What's up, guys? What's up? Friday pre-market live. Hopefully everybody's having a fantastic morning. GM. What is going on, guys? What is going on? Giving everybody just a second to kind of roll into the stream. Hopefully you guys have had a good one. It's the weekend. Almost. You got a couple hours, guys. Couple hours. Guys, hit the like, please. Yep, always appreciated. What's up, guys? What's up, man? Ready to make some money? What's up? What's going on, guys? All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Beautiful Friday morning to you all. Guys, welcome to the pre-market live stream. If you're joining us for the first time, this is the time of the morning where I'm going to go over my top focus setups for the day ahead. Obviously, going to talk about the overall market. It is a beautiful Friday morning, guys. Obviously, this morning, we are in a market that is being dictated, obviously by the bank earnings, right? We've had Citigroup, JPM, all up in pre-market. Citigroup up about 3% right now, guys. JPM at last check was up about 2%. Yep, they're about 1.4% right now. So definitely the banks are catching a bid after a nasty candle on the IWM yesterday, right? We obviously had a huge sell day on the IWM yesterday, guys. Home builders got crushed. Financials were weak, etc. So definitely an interesting Friday that we're coming into and absolutely an important one. So what I'm going to do on this live stream, guys, is I'm going to cover the setups that I'm personally going to be watching today and kind of into next week. Obviously, we're coming off an absolutely insane day inside the chat, guys. 1,000%, I should be correct, 1,400% move on AVGO yesterday, guys. Biggest trade in like 6 or 7 months for me in terms of percent gain. Also my biggest intraday call on stream like ever. So absolutely insanity, guys. 1,300% in I think like an hour. So absolutely wild move. Haven't seen anything like that in a really long time. I will have a video recap coming out about AVGO over the weekend, kind of explaining what I saw and why I took this trade. But yeah, guys, absolutely insane day inside the chat. We alerted the 905 calls at 1. They ran to $13 or $14 a piece. So crazy day. Couldn't be more stoked about that. If you would like to join us for live trading, the link is in my bio. On Twitter, you can use the code AVGO25, and that'll give you 25% off of the Discord chat. If you'd like to come and join us, I host a pre-market live stream like this one every single morning, and we go over exactly what I'm going to be watching. And that'll also give you access to my live trading during the day. So, all right, with that being said, let's talk about what I'm going to be watching as we go into the day. Now, I will say, guys, the moves we saw yesterday in those particular sectors of the market, I personally don't think were the best sign. Now, I will say, I think by far and away, the most important sector to watch today is going to be the chips. Had an insane trade on SMH yesterday. I'm really interested to see how this one acts today. If we look at the weekly chart, guys, we are pressed up right against this weekly resistance, okay? This has been leading mega cap tech all year, right? And how this weekly candle closes, in my opinion, is going to set the tone for the rest of the month and probably towards the end of the year. This is a really important weekly candle, guys. And so for me, I don't feel any pressure to rush or force things today. I'm really going to wait and see how they decide to close this, and I think that'll be evident, within the first 30 minutes of the day in terms of the overall action we're going to see, because we're pressed right up against this larger scale resistance. Again, here in pre-market, we're up slightly. So, really going to be paying close attention. Obviously, yesterday, we kind of had that fake breakout move. If we look at the daily, right, we extended above the key breakout line, and then we closed our candle below, right? that is a liquidity sweep on the daily time frame, right? So according to my system, right, and the way that I trade, this is not a long setup for me. So I personally am not going to be watching really these names unless we have some type of absolutely insane, outlier event take place. These are, right now in some sell side structure for me. I was checking AMD right after the scan. It can look really nasty if it starts to go down. Yeah, so this is the AMD daily setup, and that's going to lead me to one of my top focus setups for the day. So here's the setup on AMD right now, guys. Right, we obviously have a huge breakout on the daily, right, and the weekly is trying to confirm this breakout as well. Now we have to understand, guys, is this is a huge breakout because of how long we have been in this consolidation, like kind of wedge pattern, right? And we're trying to break upside, right? We've technically closed a weekly candle above, depending on where you draw your line. My issue with this, right, is I just think that it's looked exhausted, right? We've had this powerful move, but now what we've seen is these 3 sideways candles in a row, and every single time we've tested 110, it's rejected. I would not be surprised, at the very least, to see it test this daily uptrend that it's been in, which would coincide with a test of basically like that 106, potentially even like the 105.40 area, okay? Because, right, we've kind of been in that daily uptrend. We couldn't get the extension breakout move. And so for me, guys, I'm never going to long a setup that looks like that, personally. And it's okay. If it goes, I'm fine with that. But personally, I'm primarily looking at these on the short side. That's where I feel like they have, the best risk to reward. Even with the relative strength that they've had, guys, definitely a primary short focus within chips for me. And that's just my opinion, right, about where the SMH is at and where AMD is currently sitting, etc. The price action has just not impressed me. I think a lot of people are long on this name because of the breakout. And for me, that just, again, oftentimes is an increased like short conviction point. So I have one small position open on the SMH right now, and that is it. Otherwise, I'm completely cash. So, either way, guys, like I said, not a ton of bias for me, but I look at certain things on higher time frames and I come up with a trade plan. And so for me, I have a trade plan for those on the short side. So pretty bullish ES action though. S&P 500 is rallying because of the banks right now. Right, so if you notice, this is a good example, guys, if you haven't taken the time to realize, there's always going to be a relative strength leader and relative weakness between SPY and QQQ, like most of the time. Right now, the S&P is showing a lot of relative strength. Why? Because banks are up, and the S&P 500 has a lot of exposure to financials, right? Whereas the Qs, right, tech-heavy NASDAQ, don't have that exposure to the banks, right? So you look at the Qs, you've got about a 0.2% discrepancy in terms of their pre-market gain right now, right? Chips were showing a lot of weakness in pre-market. And one reason you're seeing tech, in my opinion, lag is because of what the TNX did yesterday, right? So this is the daily chart on the 10-year treasury yields. This was a really, really big stick, guys. This saved what was a breakdown of trend, right? This has been this really long uptrend that we've been in on the TNX. And we printed a huge candle yesterday, right? DXY, same thing, okay? And so the dollar, again, strong dollar, a big move up in 10-year yields, that's going to put pressure on equities, or it should, right? As we all know, the market can sometimes be, a laggard in terms of responding to these types of moves. But when I see sticks like that, I'm always more cautious on the long side as well, right? Because I want to be trading with the trend and where liquidity is going. And so I've been in this game long enough to know when I see yields ripping like that and I see the dollar ripping like that, we'll see if the market buys it. I guess that's the end of the day. Doesn't energy inverse tech? I wouldn't say completely inverse. It's like sometimes you just have like very strong downside days. But yes, when you see money flow into oil stocks, a lot of the time you'll see money flow out of like tech. So chips is kind of one of the places. So yeah, consumer sentiment at 10. So that'll be definitely interesting. Good call out. Didn't realize financials were carrying this. Yeah, if you didn't realize, they definitely are. Fresh cut with that 10K day. I didn't even get a haircut yet. I'm getting a haircut today though. Free Money Friday hoodie. Oh yeah, I almost forgot, guys. Damn, I'm lagging. Look at that. Jeez, I gotta get it together. All right. Now it's officially Friday. Now it's officially Friday. Yep, we gotta have it. Gotta have it. I don't know what I'm doing. What's going on, guys? 250 people inside the chat right now. Thanks for joining the free live stream, guys. Going to be hosting these on Fridays from now on. If you'd like to join us every single morning for pre-market live streams like this, the link is in my Twitter bio, and you can use the code AVGO25, and you'll get 25% off the chat. So, what's up, guys? Bro, you got to get some Mozart Mondays, A+ hoodies next FMF. Yeah. Shout out to everyone that just got their Free Money Friday hoodies. I hope you guys enjoy them. But yeah. And if you sign up for the Discord, you can hit me up and we'll make sure we get you a free hoodie when our next drop comes out. All right, so let's kind of continue talking about where we're at. So again, I talked about chips a little bit. SMCI is another one that has my attention because of how the weekly candle is shaping up, right? So really long upper wick. How this closes today should give us a nice indication on chips overall, right? We've got this weekly liquidity sweep in play, right? Very strong resistance, 297. We know that strong resistance because of this wick from August 25th. If this closes above 297, I think this probably sees a move to 357. If not, I think this sets up for a move back towards 266 and then 233 on higher time frames. So this is a really, really important weekly close, guys. If we get a close under 297, I'm probably going to look at swinging some puts on this name, even though I know it's been super strong, but like I said, definitely a setup that I'm going to be watching closely towards the end of today. But it's going to depend how this weekly candle closes. So a lot going on today, guys. Remember that. A lot going on. All right, so let's kind of talk about PLTR. This is the one setup. If I'm going to be looking to long a name, guys, if I'm going to be looking to play upside on something, this is where I would want my focus. Why? Purely because it is just held up incredibly well, right? You can just look at this chart and look at some other charts, especially in growth. I mean, ARK printed a horrible candle yesterday, right, alongside the IW. That was ARK's candle yesterday. This was PLTR's candle. There's no better indication of relative strength. Anything in chips that you would swing with an inverse ETF? Probably not. I have no interest in NVDS. NVIDIA is the one name I personally don't want to be looking to short. Yeah, so like I said, at least not yet. But like I said, as far as PLTR goes, this is going to be one of my top focuses on the long side today. It's probably going to be the only setup that I personally think looks attractive in terms of a potential long because of the way that it's set up. We dipped below this 1780 level yesterday, swept liquidity, closed back above. I think that this could potentially test up to 18.5, maybe even 19 if we look at the daily and the weekly. But again, guys, again, my primary focus today is a little bit more shifted downside until we see the market really get through those key levels. Like if we look at the S&P 500, we've got to clear that 437 area, right? I mean, it has been such a stiff point of resistance. I think the market's got its work cut out for it overhead, right? And yesterday was the first true sell pressure that we saw. So the big key level that I'm going to be watching today is going to be on the Qs, all right? So this is the QQQ hourly, right? We found pre-market support near yesterday's lows. If we look at yesterday, right, we had that intraday rug pull, flushed down to 367.5. That is now the key level for me, okay? That I'm going to be watching today. If bears want to make any true progress into next week, they're going to have to get a risk-off Friday going, and they're going to have to get the Qs back below this 367.5 area, in my opinion, right, from yesterday's low. They get that below, I think that you can see 360 pretty quickly, right, down towards that 360 support. So, the other levels that I'd look at, 366.16 under, and then I'd really, again, under that level, be looking for 362 and 360. So the key level upside, in my opinion, is the 371.40 area, right? We clearly have resistance here. 1, 2, 3, 4 pretty stiff rejections. And really, this starts to look like a fake breakout if bulls don't get it back above this key level, right? So I'm going to be watching this closely, 377.50 up to 371.40. This is kind of, for me, a more A-plus short area, risk to reward wise. Could we potentially go long here and explode? Sure. It would surprise me, but, like I said, guys, It's been an amazing week. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on myself today. This is, Fridays are a risk off day for me, period. My sizing goes down, and I really try to only focus on the setups that I have a plan for. So today, that's going to be PLTR and the chips. Like I mentioned, going to be watching that AMD candle very closely today, as well as SMCI. And then, like I said, on the long side, I think PLTR has held up incredibly well. If I'm going to look to long a name, it's going to be that, right? So my focus today, again, I think we could see that 105 area into next week on AMD. So going to be watching that very closely, as well as SMCI. And then INTC is probably a good one to keep an eye on too. But, we will see. Again, market's going to set the tone. S&P showing a lot of relative strength today. So if I'm going to be looking to short on the indices, then I would be looking at the Qs, right? Bro, same AMD. Yeah, definitely. I just think the PLTR chart is a lot healthier than the AMD chart, right? There's a big difference, and all PLTR has done is go really sideways, whereas, the AMD candle, right, is this is like a pretty nasty head and shoulders pattern if you look at the hourly on AMD. That's kind of why I like this to the short side, right? So I personally am going to be watching the 105 puts for next week. This is going to be my top focus. This looks like a head and shoulders to me. You be the judge. I mean, actually, though. I don't use fibs, no. But yeah, so this is going to be my top watch here on AMD. Again, I think SMCI looks interesting on the short side if we close under 297 as well. And that would be more, probably I'll take a month out swing on that if we close under. So yeah, but that's going to be my top focus setups for today. Right now, though, guys, it is 1 minute and 30 seconds until market open. I am going to go ahead and head over on the Discord live stream, and we are going to be live streaming all morning long from 9:30 until 11 a.m. I will see you guys live inside the Discord chat. Hope you guys are enjoying the streams. Have an amazing Friday, guys. A+ setups. I'll see you guys later. Peace.